Well, as most of you realize, the Dulcimer community lost a very dear friend. This past, was it November? Bill Taylor had been sick for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years. Bill was an excellent musician, an excellent luthier. He built 4,000 mountain dulcimers, and just an all-around great guy. If you ever knew Bill, you know he was top notch. Cheri and I met Bill in 1981. That's been a while back. At Silver Dollar City, which is now Dollywood. We were trying to sell hammer dulcimers, and Bill was playing with a bluegrass band, City Coat Creek, and we would work the crowd during the day, and we were camping beside each other, tent camping beside each other, and we would play music till the wee hours of the night, and we did that for a couple weeks.
About 6 weeks. The longest 6 weeks of our
Longest
life.
6 weeks. And we became very good friends at that time.
That
And
was
then,
the plus side.
and then of course, we would run into Bill at different dulcimer events. The one that sticks in my mind is Cosby. If you've ever been to Cosby or heard about it, it was a wonderful dulcimer festival in Cosby, Tennessee.
Run by Lee and G.
Run by Lee and G.
Schilling.
Schilling. It was an acoustic festival, no electricity, up on top of a mountaintop. But one thing that sticks in my mind is Bill had a pop-up camper, and you turn the crank 50 times and the roof would pop up. These metal things, and there was a piece of wire that ran right beside the support. And if you plucked that wire, it made a note. And if you put your finger on the structural support, you could play a tune. And I got old Joe Clark on Bill's pop-up camper, and we had a good jam, a popper jam. Yeah.
What were you drinking?
Pardon?
What were you drinking?
Oh, we were drinking the finest iced tea I've ever had. Iced tea.
Long Island.
And since we lived so close to each other, we would ride together to different festivals. We went to Covington, Louisiana for the Mardi Gras Festival. We went to Memphis for the Memphis Dulcimer Festival. We went to Louisville, Kentucky numerous times for Kentucky Music Week. And I would always go to his house the night before, and so we'd get a good early start. Barbara fixes a big breakfast. We get up, hit the road. We'd always take a mandolin, and I'd drive a while, and Bill would play a mandolin for a while, and then he'd drive, and I'd play a mandolin. We would figure out tunes, and it was just a great way to do it. Yeah. Anything you want to say about Bill?
As you all know, he was just the nicest person you'd ever want to meet. No matter what was happening in your life or his life, he was just a jewel, wonderful musician and instrument builder. But I think the thing for me that will always stick in my mind is that smile, because it was always there.
I've known Bill a long time, and we were, I would say, dear friends, although the kind of friends that you cannot see each other for a while, and when you get back together, it's like it was yesterday. He was the sweetest, kindest, gentlest soul that you could imagine, and a great musician. He actually he came to Chapel Hill and played my daughter's wedding with a fiddle person that I knew, and a cello fellow I played with, and Bill and Dulcimer. So we had fiddle, cello, and dulcimer at the wedding. And he called me one day and said, later on, he called me and said, are you guys going to be around? Because I'm thinking about coming your way. And we said, of course, come by. He had gone online and was looking for a gator. And he found one in Raleigh.
A John Deere gator.
A John Deere gator. I assume around here people knew what a gator was in the mountains. But yes, a John Deere gator. And so he came, stayed at our house, and we played music and had fun, and he went and got the gator. And he was like a kid who got the toy he most wanted at Christmas morning. You know, he just smiled and took us for rides and stuff like that. So we really enjoyed that. And I'll tell you one other story quickly before we do the final song that we do. These, by the way, these are made by Bill. I bought this one off his lap. He was at, it was a long time ago, but he was playing, he said, try this, and I loved it. I said, Bill, I'd like to buy it. He said, well, I don't know. So I kept asking him, and he finally relented, and he said, okay, look, I'll sell it to you, but on one condition. Can I please play it in my concert tonight? I said, sure, I'd love to hear it.
And what's it made out of?
The back is Osage orange, which is a very unusual wood for the size and back, and it is really over the. When I first got it, it was a pretty bright yellow, but it's just aged, beautiful. But it's back and sides Osage orange, and it's top. And they look very similar. They both have the leaf sound holes. Were very creative, and he had someone who would carve in the sound post a little wood spirit. There's a picture of a guy there.
I just thought of another story. Bill, we kind of had parallel lives and careers. We both went back to college. Well, we both built instruments for 20 years, and then we went back to college and got our teaching degrees. And he taught in Sevier County, and I taught in Carter County. We both retired about the same time. But back whenever I was building instruments, I was at Kentucky Music Weekend with Bill, and we were eating lunch together. And Bill said, well, have you sold anything yet? I said, well, I kind of sold. I said, I took cash money for an instrument that I've not even started yet. So right now I've got a pocket full of money for what's basically a pile of boards. He sat there for a little bit. Bill said, well, I'm just selling the log. It was me, Bill, and David Snoffer. We're eating lunch. And we sat there for a little bit, and David finally said, hey, I'll just sell him the seed. And if you'll look on my table, I've got a wooden box that's not for sale. It's an East Tennessee Dulcimer kit. And if you open it up, there's a walnut in it. It's got complete instructions, and that's a result of that conversation. Okay, so Bill and Cheri and I played quite a bit together, and one of Bill's favorite things to do was to put a capo on fret 4 and play in the key of A. So we're going to do a couple of A tunes, Benton's Dream and Sandy Boys, and they go like this. No, this instrument, I traded one of my hammer dulcimers to Bill for this instrument. He wanted one of my really pretty hammer dulcimers, so I built him a really nice curly maple, very much like the one I was playing last night. And he built he built this. It's curly Cheri with curly maple binding, and of course the inlaid rosewood fingerboard. And we were going to swap it, and he said, you know, that hammer dulcimer is really worth more than my dulcimer, and I'd like to throw something in for boot. And I said, okay, what you got? And he had taken a Baby Taylor guitar. Elaine had the baby. She was playing in the gym last night, and he mandolized it. He turned it into an octave mandolin. He blocked up the peg head, re-drilled it for 8 strings, recut the nut, recut the saddle, and re-drilled the bridge, and made an octave mandolin out of it. Baby Taylors are pretty good guitars, but they're killer octave mandolins. And I played that thing into the ground. Yeah, I've still got it, but it's not really in playable condition. So that's the story of how I come to get this instrument. I've also got another one of his instruments. How many of y'all have one of Bill's instruments? Okay, there you go. Yeah. Don't sell them. Hold on to them.
Don't bid more.
All right.
Well, I'd like to close with a song, and I'm going to ask you all to sing. I know it's not all that much fun to sing with a mask on, but it's pretty straightforward. The last time I actually played with Bill in a performance was actually in Townsend, Tennessee, at the Pickin' Porch. We did a concert, and I ended this with a tune to have people sing along with it, and it just seemed to be appropriate. It just sort of described Bill, and I hope you will enjoy and participate in this celebration of a great friend, a great person. This is called Let the Life I Lead. It's an Appalachian hymn. So I'm going to let you know how it goes, and I'm going to teach you the chorus, and then the first few lines change every time. You should be able to get this. So it goes. Let the life I lead speak for me, speak for me. Let the life I lead, let the life I lead speak for me, speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave, when I'm lying in my grave, there's nothing more to say, there's nothing more to say. Let the life I lead speak for me. So that's all it is. A couple of words will change. So let's try it now. Here we go. Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the life I lead speak for me. Let the love I share, let the love I share speak for me. Let the love I share speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the love I share speak for me. Let the friends I have, let the friends I have speak for me. Let the friends I have speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the friends I have speak for me. Let the songs I sing, let the songs I sing speak for me. Let the songs I sing speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the songs I sing speak for me. Let the life I lead, let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave, there's nothing more to say. Let the life I lead speak for me. One more, let the life I lead. Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me.